Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Today from China Observer. China's leftover woman is overwhelming. It's 1 to 9 male to woman ratio? What? Please extra them below. I really appreciate that. Let's give it a chow. It's chow time.
我感觉好崩溃啊。
I feel so overwhelmed. It feels like all the bad things are happening at once over the past couple of days. I really wish I had someone to share the burden with, but I feel like I may never find a partner in this lifetime. I feel so helpless. Right now, it's not just about having someone who wants me. I feel like my existence in this world is kind of redundant. I'm already 36 years old and have no value in the dating market. No reproductive value either. My emotions aren't stable, my personality isn't great, and I don't have much money.
American women right there. That's a great description.
So I can't provide economic value or emotional value, and not even appearance value. It's only natural that people would reject me. But how am I supposed to keep going? The 36-year-old woman, Mi Li, holds a master's degree from a prestigious university. She often refers to herself as a high-quality older single woman and frequently shares on social media the many difficulties she encounters while seeking a partner. She also discusses her feelings of loneliness and the pressure from family and friends.
Isn't it just funny that women love to say other countries are so much more soft with their men, that they dote on women and stuff like that? No. Other countries are actually much more harsh on leftover type women. Look at it. These men are way more in population than women, and they're still not willing to settle down for these women. Look at what we are doing on the West. We're fucking simps.
To get married. On June 17th, she broke down in tears, regretting that she missed the prime time for marriage due to her focus on her career. Now, being single, she feels an overwhelming sense of anxiety. Mi Li's tears convey a clear message to all young women. Do not miss the best time to get married. She reminds them that marriage is not only an emotional support, but also a guarantee and foundation for life, urging them not to repeat her mistakes.
100%
In her
agree with
video, Mi Li regretfully stated, "I used to give myself many excuses, thinking that marriage was not important and that career was the most important thing. But now it seems that these were just excuses I made to deceive myself." Mi Li's video resonated with many users on social media.
At least women in China are admitting these things in a good amount of videos, right? Women over here don't admit shit. They just double down.
Inspiring many to reflect on themselves. In the comment section, some people said, "When you're young, you always think there's plenty of time, but in an instant, you become an older single woman." Others remarked, "I hope this reminds women chasing their careers that marriage is not a constraint, but true freedom." Some others comforted her, commenting, "It's okay if you can't find someone. Make peace with yourself and stop forcing yourself to look." Emotional counselor Wang Lingguo posted a video on Douyin on July 19th sharing,
"If you're getting older and still single, you actually don't have to feel too bad about it. Who says getting married will definitely make you feel happy? Maybe staying single at this age is just saving you from suffering, so try to be more optimistic."
Mi Li's situation
I would give that to the men. That's like the men advice for sure. For women, I think they're going to be miserable.
prompts people to ponder whether women's pursuit of a career has surpassed their desire for a happy life. In society, many people are so immersed in competition that they neglect the warmth of family and love. This also leads people
I agree with this 100%. This is what the West is very like. The warmth of family, home, and all that is gone.
to reevaluate the importance and significance of marriage. While a career is important, a healthy family and happy marriage are also worth striving for. Nowadays, more and more older single women are openly seeking marriage on social media. On July 19th, a 36-year-old single woman, Miss Zhou, posted a video on Douyin.
感谢豆爸爸把我这条推荐给全国的单身人士。
Thank you, Douyin, for recommending my video to single people all over the country. Many people have commented, saying I'm brave to come to this platform alone to find a partner, facing all the doubts, confusion, and ridicule. It's not about being brave, it's about being responsible for myself. Don't believe sayings like, if you build it, they will come. I know too many excellent women who are still single despite their age. I don't want to be an internet celebrity, but if exposure brings me more visibility and helps me find a partner faster, it's a blessing. So we all need to be a little braver.
I love that these women are at least actively pursuing husbandship, marriage, and being a wife. They're actively pursuing it. Unlike women in the West that want it, but they don't actively pursue it themselves. They just still the build it and they will come theory, which nobody's coming.
Happiness is something you have to seize, fight for, and strive for.
来到著名的皇家公园相亲角来碰碰运气。
Today, I came to the famous Shanghai Royal Park matchmaking corner to try my luck. It's 9 a.m. and there are so many people here. It's really hot and I see parents who are incredibly worried about finding partners for their children. Today, I feel there are many excellent girls here, many with PhDs who studied abroad. I feel like I'm out of luck. If such excellent people can't find someone, it's even harder for an ordinary person like
Again, ladies, we tell you the career, the doctorate, all of this PhD and stuff, it's nothing.
me. This 36-year-old intelligent beauty, Miss Zhou, is 1.75 meters tall. She's publicly seeking marriage on social media, challenging herself to find a partner in 100 days and get married in 200 days. She hopes to find a compatible partner who shares her pursuit of a spiritual life, but reality leaves her feeling helpless. Since June 1st, when she first posted her video, over 50 days have passed, and she has posted more than 40 episodes, yet she has not found a suitable man. Will Miss Zhou succeed? Another 36-year-old single woman, Xiao Han, is also
At least these 36-year-olds look pretty decent compared to the our 36-year-old that look like 52-year-olds.
publicly seeking marriage on Douyin. But her criteria might make potential partners shy away.
我的择偶要求就4点，第一点是
I only have 4 requirements for a partner. First, you must settle down in the Zhejiang, Shanghai area. I don't accept long-distance relationships. I'm in
Somewhat
Suzhou, and it's
reasonable,
okay
yes.
if you settle down nearby. If you're from another place, you need to buy a house and settle here. Second, you must be good-looking, pleasing to the eye, and no shorter than 1.7 meters. Third, you need a stable income, with an annual salary of no less than 300,000 yuan before or after taxes, which proves your ability to earn a living. Fourth, we need a betrothal gift for marriage, but I'll match whatever you give as a dowry. Can you meet these 4 requirements? Xiao Han's criteria for choosing a partner have inspired reflection on social media. Her views reflect those of many older single women. As they age, gain experience, and succeed in their careers, their requirements for a partner become higher. A counselor at a marriage agency believes that the difficulty older single women face in getting married is because they view themselves as luxury goods, sticking by their standards indefinitely.
任何一个大龄女生被剩下，都是因为性价比太低。
Any older single woman who remains single has a low cost-to-performance ratio, according to a male member who recently broke up with his girlfriend. He said that older single women who consider themselves high quality, regardless of how beautiful, educated, or free they appear, have unrealistic expectations if they're still single. Those wanting to marry don't want to marry them, and those wanting to marry them aren't good enough in their eyes.
This is why we don't want to deal with older, leftover women in their 30s. Their criterias have gone up. They're more bitter. They have gone through more men. And they are not willing to settle down. They're not willing to compromise. They're not willing to do the things that these particular men want. They think they're the prize. They're the luxury good. They think they're the Louis Vuitton bag. But they did not realize that men don't buy bags.
It's all about having too high expectations when it comes to marriage. I said to him, women who are beautiful, highly educated, and earn incomes should have advantages, right? He sighed and said, she's beautiful, but so are 20-year-olds with lower demands. She graduated from a top university, but there are plenty of such graduates in big cities. She earns 20,000 yuan a month, but she doesn't share it with me and instead uses it as leverage to demand more money from me. It would be better if she earned nothing. She promises to have a child in 5 years and raise it well, but who can know if she can even have a child in 5 years?
True.
Young women are beautiful too, and they can raise children without being so materialistic. He also said that men in the age for marriage should avoid women over 35, as luxury items are rarely bought. Besides, many women think they're luxury items when they aren't, which is the real issue. With a growing number of older single women, parents are often the most anxious. They push for marriage because they hope their children will settle down early and have a companion to care for them. Parents think that marrying someone with decent qualities is enough. Love is too fleeting. As long as the person has no bad habits and is reliable, that's sufficient. However, for educated women, marriage cannot just be settled for, and their unwillingness to settle gradually turns them into older single women. Their view of marriage differs significantly from the previous generation, with the biggest change being their increased independence and emphasis on spiritual needs. In the matchmaking group for those aged 25 to 40 in China, women far outnumber men. This seemingly counterintuitive outcome
Isn't
is
that sad that women far outnumber men in that age bracket. But in China, men outnumber women to such a high number.
Hard to believe, but after verifying through multiple online channels, the data on the male-to-female ratio in matchmaking across major cities is approximately 1:9. At the Wangsong Academy Matchmaking Corner in Hangzhou.
See, this is the same shit that the West is. I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man. But 90% of you still want a man.
A mother forcibly dragged.
Yes, this is China, but I'm sure it translates to US too. I'm sure 90% of women would love a husband to take care of them.
Her 35-year-old daughter to a matchmaking event. The daughter reluctantly said, "I don't want to go." The mother ignored her, dragging her to an older man who was looking for a partner for his son. Upon hearing that the man was born in 1979, 13 years older than her, had a house but no car, and was a local from Hangzhou, the daughter's face showed disinterest. This Anhui woman continued to visit the matchmaking corner several more times, hoping to find a suitable partner. It's Saturday again, and I'm at the Wangsong Academy Matchmaking Corner in Hangzhou. It's crowded with people seeking love, some for their children, others for themselves.
I love that Asian culture and parents are so into and so invested into their kids' future and into their kids who they marry, or making sure they try to get married. It's so weird in the West. The West, everybody's like, stay single, like, you don't need family. Over there, it's like, you need family.
A place to stand and waited for my fate to come. People come and go, and occasionally older men and women come up to talk to me.
Hi, 大家好.
Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. I'm from Lu'an, Anhui, born in 1989, the year of the snake, and still single. I'm looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with. Although I'm already 35, I still have a girlish heart and yearn for beautiful love. Many say,
even though I'm 35, I have a girlish heart. I think most women, even though they're older, they're pretty like girlish, as in they act young. They act like preteens sometimes. Actually, a lot of times.
Marriage is about finding someone to live with, and over time, it becomes more about kinship. Some say don't set your standards too high, and just find somebody to get by with. I've been weighing these options. Many who've been through marriage say love isn't what's important. What's important is that the person is good to you and responsible. A stable life is all you need. Others say you should marry someone you love deeply, because marriage will bring many challenges you've never considered before, and if you don't love him enough, you'll become unhappy, bitter, or even depressed. Since I've never been married, I really don't know which path to take.
Hangzhou has an overflow of older single women because they take the top criteria for men as their minimum standard. At the matchmaking corner in Wangsong Academy.
That's a good fucking statement right there. They take the top criterias of men and then make them minimum standards. Women.
You'll find that 90% of the profiles belong to women in their 30s, and nearly 70% of them are in their 30s. Their consistent requirements are: men must be at least 1.75 meters tall, look decent, be within 5 years of their age, have at least a bachelor's degree, own a fully paid house and a car in Hangzhou, earn at least 300,000 yuan a year, have no bad habits, and be attentive, fit, and caring. I asked a girl nearby if these standards were too high. She said, "Without money, how can you support a family? Without a car, how do you get around? Without a house, where will you live?" All the girls here have the same standards. If I set my standards lower, I'll be outshone by others. But if everyone...
That doesn't even make sense. If you lower your standards, you'll be outshone by others, but all these others are not getting picked. If they're not getting picked, how are they outshowing you? It doesn't make sense.
Has such high standards, who can end up with a partner? In Hangzhou, men who meet these criteria are scarce and snapped up quickly. Why would they come to a matchmaking corner? Even though the women here are decent, with houses, cars, and savings, the men have these too. What advantages do older single women have? Quality men have a broad choice, and unless a woman is young, good-looking, and has standout advantages, Why would a man choose her?
Damn
In a big
right.
city matchmaking market, especially in parks with clear pricing for matchmaking, it has become a place for bargaining. Currently, the marriage agency's registrations also show more women and fewer men, with women generally being older. This is similar to matchmaking in parks, where appearance, work, education, and family background.
And then for us here, it's not matchmaking because we don't really have too many matchmaking services like they do, but we have singles events. Shitloads of singles events are trying to come back, and they try to charge me $150 or $200 to go to these things. No dice.
Are all considered. Perhaps these conditions are part of what constitutes love. A traditional Chinese custom says a man should get married on coming of age, and so should a woman. This has persisted for thousands of years, especially for women. However, this traditional custom began to break down after the 20th century. Many people believe that due to the long-term implementation of the one-child policy and the preference for boys over girls, there has always been a situation in China where there are more men than women. According to authoritative data from demographers, the gender ratio in China is 117 to 100,
Damn,
with 30 to 40
is
million
huge.
more males than females. Official data also shows that in 2021, the number of single people over the age of 15 in China reached a record high of 239 million.
At the age of 15? Damn, they go low on freaking China.
The number of marriage registrations hit a historic low in 2022. A survey by the Chinese Communist Youth League in 2021 of about
And they say they're not communist. And people still argue that China is not communist. They literally just called themselves the Communist Youth League. What the fuck?
2,900 unmarried urban young people found that 44% of women do not plan to get married. Many women, after giving up on marriage, form a stable single life. On Chinese social media, if women in their 30s or 40s post with tags like "no marriage, no children," they often receive thousands of likes or more. It's important to understand that
Oh, so their sisterhood is starting to grow too now, huh? This is what that's just observation, guys. We get to see other countries going through the same shit that we're going through. Now we get to understand a little bit more of how things are going.
leftover women are not single because they can't get married, but because they refuse to marry for the sake of marriage. Professor Su Xiaoling from the University of California, Davis, believes that this choice is related to women's educational levels. She said, women with a college education become more determined to assert their rights and social status. Well-educated women find it increasingly difficult to find suitable men who share the same views on women's rights. She also said there's an excess of highly educated women,
So they're looking for feminist men. Is that what we're hearing?
but a shortage of highly educated men. Many leftover women have high standards, viewing many men as unambitious or lacking prospects. They believe that their knowledge
shit
and
in the United
talents require
States.
men who are financially secure, good-looking, and high of character. However, in reality, most men are ordinary, and high-quality men have a wide range of choices and often marry and have children early.
Yeah, just women expect men to always constantly achieve, constantly growing. Once you have a good career as an engineer or a plumber or whatever, say plumbers you can do better because you can start your own business. But say as an engineer and you're making 100, 120 grand, most people are happy and satisfied with that salary, men wise. I mean, they'll grow slowly throughout the years, but they're not going to pursue that 200,000, that 300,000. Very few people are. But women expect all men to be striving for that. It's just impossible because there's not enough money in the world for all men to be getting paid that kind of salary.
Many Chinese men often compare a woman's youth to fruit. The fresher the fruit, the more buyers it attracts. As the fruit sits and withers, its price drops. Eventually, even at a big discount, it still may not sell. This is the current situation of leftover women. A leftover woman would complain, "There are no good men in the world. I haven't met any man who meets my standards." However, the increase in the number of leftover women in Chinese society will inevitably lead to a rise in leftover men. These women often live in their own fantasy, often have high-paying jobs, and are economically independent, allowing them the option to remain single. On the contrary, leftover men are different. First, there is a large absolute surplus of marriageable men, and they are often at a disadvantage. Their main problems are economic and cultural disadvantages, social exclusion, and discrimination. A deeper phenomenon is the current instability in China's employment situation, which makes men afraid to get married. Without a stable economic foundation, they cannot afford to start a family.
Look at that. Men think ahead. Economy's shitty. How am I gonna be able to support a family? I don't think I can, so I'm just gonna stay out. It's not like that we don't want to, but we also understand what is required of us.
This marginalized social group is likely to bring significant negative impacts on society. If there's a sudden event in society, such as a civil dispute, a conflict between officials and citizens, or mass unemployment, these leftover men could be the main force behind serious social conflicts. In fact, in recent years, these leftover men have been linked to many instances of mass violence in society.
Shout out to China Observer. No, I agree. A lot of the men that are ostracized, the men that can't, make it, in a sense, are the ones that cause the most harm because they don't see anything better. They don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.